MMA Oddsbreaker, I'm Frank Trigg. That is Eddie Alvarez after a long layoff and a little bit of a heated contract dispute. Finally back with Bellator, getting ready for another title fight right away, jumping right in against Michael Chandler. 12-0 versus your 24-3. Obviously, the experience level to you is ridiculously compared to Chandler's, but Chandler's been more active because he didn't have the contract dispute over the last little bit. Have you done anything special in this training camp to kind of take care of that ring rust factor that sometimes pops out?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't believe in ring rust, so I don't think it works on me. Um, I
Okay.
mean, I think if you think about it too much and you actually believe in it and you go into fight thinking about it, I think your performance will show. But I'm one of them fighters that I train the way I fight, and I get in more fights and more battles inside of the gym than I normally do when I'm in the cage in front of the millions of viewers. So I helped a lot of my friends and training partners get ready for their fights. So I sort of live vicariously through them, as well as during the training camp, just making sure I put in the proper rounds and making sure I was going against partners that were going to push me to as close to a level as a fight as possible. That's all.
Did you bring in a particular partner to kind of mimic the way that Chandler fights, or did you have enough guys already in camp that kind of were wrestlers and had that kind of strong background, kind of like that Chandler does?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we have 40 to 50 of some of the best, guys in the world at what they do. So on any given practice, you are going to get your ass whooped. In if you pick the right guys and you use the resources in the room, you can voluntarily get your ass whooped in any aspect of the sport, whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, whatever. So I'm fortunate enough to have that sort of room where I can pick the best three, the best four guys in whatever craft that we're doing and work on it and work on whatever I need to work on. So there's no issue with training partners and with mimicking. There's so many styles and so many different athletes in the room that it's really easy to prepare for any fight, not just this particular guy, but any fight.
Did you spend more time on wrestling in this particular camp than you did in previous camps, or was just basically a normal training camp like you've always had, just a little bit longer layoff?
You know, I during the first time I fought Mike Chandler, I think I got out of my own game, and I think that kind of messed me up. I started doing wrestling practices with Penn University, and I really concerned myself with wrestling. And I kind of got out of my own game by doing that. It made me a little more hesitant than I usually am. It made me a little more defensive than I usually am. And I that's not me. That's not how I fight. That's not what I do. I'm usually the guy pushing the pace. I'm the guy dictating, what's going to happen, and I needed to get back to that. And there are ways to shut a wrestler down and still be offensive and still be able to dictate the pace of the fight. And I'm going to be able to show my fans that. I'm going to be able to show my teammates the way to do that.
Do you go in the room because you have such a tough room to train in? Do you go in the room some days and go, look, I'm taking the four easiest guys instead of the four hardest guys, just so you can get rid of some of that soreness and actually work on some of your game? Because it sounds like sometimes you get guys that you get beat up every single round. You can't really learn or do anything that's going to work in a fight. You have to take those days where you got those light guys just to make sure you get it done.
No, I don't. I don't change the level of difficulty of my training partners, but what I do change is my attitude that day. Sometimes you just have a shitty attitude for the day, and over time, throughout training and throughout fighting, you go in the gym and you just have a shitty attitude. Maybe it's a defensive attitude, maybe it's a I don't want to get hit attitude, or you're not feeling it that day. And more than anything, when I'm feeling that way, instead of changing their training partners and trying to get the easy guy, I sort of say to myself to change my attitude rather than change the partners. And when I'm able to tell myself that to change my attitude, change the way I'm thinking, and let's get in the game, I perform better. So, yeah, I mean, every once in a while when you're super tired, you grab that one guy in the room that, who you're able to be a little more offensive against and take a rest. But I try not to do that. I try my best not to do that. I try to more change my attitude than change the actual partners.
Does that attitude change sometimes? Does it not come through until the second round of sparring, or are you able to do it right when practice starts every time?
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do it like second, third round, and like I said, like sometimes you go in the gym and you're just not focused, and it's gonna take a round or two to put yourself in that situation, and it's just a practice thing, and the more I do it at practice, the more it translates over into my fight. So, more than any time in my career, I find myself focused at my training sessions. My coaches see it, my teammates see it, and I can feel it. I'm a more focused, more present fighter than I've ever been.
Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
It'll be Kenny Monday. He's my wrestling coach. Henry Hooft is my striking coach, and George Santiago is our head coach of the Black Zillions. He takes care of all aspects of MMA.
So it's the all-star cast has come out for this one. It's the top three coaches that they have at the Black Zillions, and they've all jumped in. What's it like working with Kenny Monday? Like I have shoulder issues now because I trained with him in 1991 and 1992, and he was just so explosive and so fast. I couldn't catch him. I thought I could, and just a training session, and I got hurt because he was just that much better than I was. And he's still today, even at, 85 or 89 years old, that he's one of those guys that you still can't beat him wrestling wise. He's still much better than everybody else around you. What's it like training with him, and how's it been for the little tactics of wrestling that he shows?
Well, Coach Monday keeps things really simple when it comes to wrestling. He don't like to complicate things. And that's the mark of an Olympian. They keep things simple, and they become strong at what they're good at. And he's that guy. But more than anything, that I feel like I get from Kenny, and that I look at him as a mentor. And more than anything that I get from him is his mindset, and the characters that make a good fighter, not the techniques and the details. I try to pick his brain. I try to ask him questions on a daily basis, because the guy's an Olympian. He's a gold medalist, and there's something in his mind and his heart that other people don't have, something special. And I want to try to grab that from him, and I want to use that in my everyday life. And I think just sitting down, having coffee with him, beating his ear, asking him questions, it's really helped develop my mindset, helped develop my focus, and it's getting me to greater heights in my training, and I'm sure it's going to get me to greater heights in my career itself.
Well, thanks for coming on here with MMA Oddsbreaker. That's Eddie Alvarez. He'll be fighting Mike Chandler coming up here in November the 2nd in Long Beach Convention Center on what was supposed to be Bellator's first pay-per-view, but is now the main event on Spike TV. Eddie, welcome back. Thanks for finally getting that contract dispute done so we can actually see you fight again, because you're one of the most exciting fighters in any weight class. But at 55, this is truly, to me, it's a top 5 fight between both you and Mike. I believe both of you in the top 5, and it's the first major fight again where your first fight was a major fight for both guys, but now it's another major fight. It's outside the UFC. It's inside Bellator, and really for me, it's two of the top 5 guys in the weight class. So I'm really excited about this fight coming up, and of course I'm happy I don't have to spend $35 for it either on pay-per-view. I can get it for free now on Spike TV.
No, man, it's always a good thing when the fans get to see us go at it, and I feel the same way, man. This is what MMA is all about. It's about the best going against the best, and I'm excited for it. I'm prepared for it, and tune in. If you got a TV, watch it.
Talk to you later, Eddie.
All right.